Oh, all right. Hey, everyone. This is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So before we dive into the chapter here, just got a quick couple of stuff. So we're getting caught up on Shonen Jump chapters this week. So there's going to be a lot of good content coming your way. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Without further ado, let us dive into Akane-Banashi, Story 113, His True Self, with Rakugo supervision by Keiki Hayashiya, story by Yuki Suenaga, art by Takamasa Moe. So pick up where we left off last time with Mikuru going, does everyone just want me to die? It's like, I didn't say that. Besides, the punishment's already been decided. You're going to be made a beggar, young master. Maybe coming to understand the true value of money will teach you to stop wasting in idle pursuits, said the steward. And of course, you have translation by Stephen Paul, lettering by Sneer on. He goes, hey, steward, so I hear you want to turn me into a beggar, the very heir of this family? Well, I accept your challenge. I'll be a beggar if that's what you want. I'll call your bluff if you dare demand that of me. And he seemed just taking a puff on his pipe as he goes, in that case, you'll need to change into this tattered kimono. No one would believe a beggar wearing the finest silk. It's like, you really want me to beg in the streets? It's like, yes, I insist. Shall I help you change into this one? And then he's silent for he goes, no, I won't, I don't want to. And Akane's like, I know it's just acting, but I've never seen this serious, desperate side of Mikuru Anisan. It's like, I don't want to be a beggar. And, where's Glasses Bro's name? Sorry, give me a second. Koguma goes, at last we're getting into the real story. And Akane's like, real story? It's like, real story? You don't recognize it? I realize it's a story from the Kansai area, but you really should know it. Between the singing and the extra jokes, he's inflated the telling to this point. But this story is an emotional ninjo banashi. Jeff, time's up. The steward of a merchant family punishes the son and future heir for his frivolous pursuits in the red light district. It is a ninjo banashi about rebirth and loss. Jeff, ninjo banashi are moving emotional stories about human drama. And she's like, Mikuru Anisan, emotional? It's like, it's surprising, isn't it? If you only know Anisan from recent years at least. But if you knew him back in the day, this would be his true self. Mikuru Anisan was originally a hardcore technical actor. A genius one at that. It's like, technical? Genius? It's like, yes. He made great waves during the competitions leading up to his Futatsume promotion. Plus, you know what he can do, right? You've seen his ability to recreate others. He's naturally gifted at what he does. Whether Rakugo or other party tricks, he's able to master everything he learns. If he were obsessed with advancing as quickly as possible, he would have made Futatsume as fast as Kaisei did, I think. Nakane is like, if you say so, I believe you. But how did you arrive at his current style? And Koguma's like, I don't know the reason why, but I can tell you that he changed after the incident. Yeah, if you refuse to beg in the streets, then you leave us no other choice. You will have to live in the warehouse for the next 100 days. Go on, inside. He's like, and now, young master, please show us that you have the patience to last for 100 days. You have patience. And you see a flashback to root for him. It's like, tomorrow's the big day. Oh, sorry, it's Shiguma going, tomorrow's the big day. Shinta's going to attempt a promotion to Shinichi. It's like, what do you say? He supported you quite a bit. It's like, yeah, that's true, but it's not like rooting for him is going to help. It's like, I wouldn't be so sure about that. It's like, even still, I know he's going to be fine. I mean, it's Aniki. He's going to be a Shinichi whether I'm there or not. And he's like, how's that? It's like, you see him just like doing his little umbrella trick. It's like, take it seriously. It's like, he really admired Shinta, but his style and personal relationships were basically the same as when he started. It's like, it's the way you get to do everything yourself. It's like, but... It's like, so you finally show up again only to look like this? What was it that you said? If I'm not blonde, I'm not me? And Jeff, I can't always be that shallow guy coasting through life. I'm your senior apprentice now, and you see as he's like drying his hair off from the rain. You see he's finally dyed his hair to the black that we see now. It's like, that was the day it all changed. When he went up on stage, he cast aside his pride and worked for the audience. At times, he even put aside his own wants and needs. It's like, Master Iken, I'd recommend Koguma for the 4-person event rather than me. And you see, to prioritize the younger apprentices instead. It's like, have you been patient? It's like, he's done enough now. It's like, young master, it has now been 100 days within the warehouse. Surely you must resent me, a mere servant for this bold proposal. I can only beg your forgiveness. It's like, but you did this for my sake, didn't you? It's like, before this, I only ever cared about myself. I didn't have a single thought in the world for the feelings of other people. But this time in the warehouse has helped me realize something. It's like, you've spent 8.5 years dedicating yourself to others. Now is the time to show the mastery of your own craft. It's like, this is where the real challenge begins. I'm going to be a Shinichi, and I'll do it with Anaki's forte, Ninjo-Banashi. Alright, so I guess quick thoughts on this chapter. So it's very interesting kind of story, I think, for him to pick, like, this one of, like, meditation, like, self-reflection and all of that. Like, I do like how this, like, again, tying back into, like, his own kind of, like, personal self-transformation. But yeah, I love how this is basically like a don't judge a book by its cover, where it's like, because up to this point we've kind of had, like, we've heard talks about, like, geniuses and, like, how good they are and, like, how quickly they pick up stuff and things like that, but we haven't really seen one in practice, so to speak. So it's interesting to kind of see one contrasting to Kaisei, who seems much more like he's, so far out of reach, like he's more deified, I think, like in the way he's presented than Maikaru is, as like the same kind of like genius kind of performance wise. So it's interesting in that regards, like presenting him as a contrast, like, he is also a genius, but he kind of like put aside his own ambitions and things to kind of like lift up the next generation of Rakugoka. So yeah, very interested in seeing like more of this coming across with the rest of the rest of the chapters. Again, we do have kind of like the limitations with this, where like the audience, like we only can tell that there's like been subtle changes in like the way he holds himself, like the audience reaction, like the tension, mood, things like that, by the audience telling us by their reactions to it. But it kind of does dampen the impact a bit when you can't really feel it in the same way. Like, I definitely did get chills, like where he's kind of like lamenting the idea of like, oh, I've been patient, I've been waiting, biding my time, like, so I could have this moment, kind of things. I did feel chills when, like, kind of slowly like ramping up to this, like as you're slowly like building up to the big release, the big performance, things like that. But I do feel like, some of it does get lost just because of the medium of the story that the story is being told through. But yeah, again, very, very solid chapters. Like I said, each arc of Akane usually does always start off strong and kind of tends to falter in the third act. I'm hoping, again, that this is not going to follow that same path, but we'll see where it goes from here. Well, with all that said, I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, I'll be catching up with Shonen Jump over the next couple of days, so there's going to be a lot of good content coming your way. Until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.